Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Duster Squad podcast. Once again, after I saw, because I keep track of like the thumbnails and crap. The last one we did was March 8th. It was immediately following the trade deadline. So it's been like a month and
No, we did one like 2 weeks
Oh
ago.
no, you're
We've
right.
done
We did.
one-
We did
yeah.
do the Ovechkin one. Yep.
Yep.
The one when Ovechkin did. That's right. That's right.
You fucking dummy.
I just didn't make a thumbnail for that one, so that's why I didn't remember it. But
Yeah, we were just sending her.
yeah, welcome back, gentlemen. So first things first. Nick was down in my neck of the woods this last week, so that's pretty hype. A little bit south of me, actually. So yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was good.
How was that? And he's been converted. We'll talk about it in a second, but he's been converted.
Oh.
And he's also been.
I don't know what you heard, but
there you go.
Okay, what's happening? Fucking computer.
You're good now. You're good now.
So Liz and I finally went on our honeymoon down to Siesta Key. So we were down there for the from Monday to Friday morning. We flew out Friday midday, and yeah, it was a good time. We spent most of the days at the beach. At least I think we were there for like 5 hours most days. And then every morning we walked and got coffee. And then we went to we made our lunches, went to the beach, walked back to our Airbnb, went to dinner, went to the daiquiri deck. If you're ever in Sarasota, Mike, go to the daiquiri deck. You won't be disappointed if you want yourself a nice slip.
They got a daiquiri deck in where do they have a daiquiri deck, Daniel? Do they have one of those one of those in like one of the ballparks here, I think, in Florida. I think it's maybe the Rays had one. I don't know.
All those frozen spiked slushies. Yum yum. I got drunk one night off of them.
There you go.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, dude, that's the vacation.
It was a good time. It sucked coming back. I just said to Liz, I was scrolling on TikTok before I got on here, and I had a video that popped up that said, if you're ever in the Siesta Key, Sarasota area, come here to go eat dinner. And I was like, oh man, I want to go back.
We didn't try that place. We got to go back. We got to go back. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you guys know, but it's not Siesta Key. But you guys are always welcome here.
Well, that's what I said to her, because we also she's got other friends on your coast somewhere, and I
bet he was going to say they're going to make a trip out of it, and
yeah, and I'll get to see a bit.
We got to make.
Dude, it's so funny because you're like in the middle, and then it pops back, and you're just. I think Benny had it right. You're gonna make a little trip out of it, and we might be able to see you at some point.
Go visit her friends as well.
I said the next time we go, we got to make an East Coast trip. So
yeah,
East Coast, baby.
It's got to do it during the right time of year where the water is warm. Warmer.
July, August, dude. August last year, I swam in the ocean like it was a pool, and like a warm pool. Yeah. I think the degreeage was like 85 degrees or something.
The good old Gulf of America wasn't super warm.
No, it's too early, dude. It's too early to be warm.
But I also don't like hurricane season. It kind of scares me, and that's why.
Season, yeah, it's a bit rainy.
Why I stay in New York.
A bit rainy. Yeah. Well, our hurricane season wasn't too bad. It was we had a couple storms, and this was the weirdest thing. There was a hurricane, and it was rainy and windy, and we were like, wow, this is pretty wild. But like there hadn't been any warnings or anything. Like the government wasn't like, hey, leave. So we were like, yeah, I think we're fine. And we were, and we didn't lose power. And then the next morning, everything's totally fine, and we lost power. I believe because there was an issue somewhere else, so they had to shut down the whole kind of grid to fix the issue. So they had to like turn that off to get that figured out. So it's pretty weird. We have yet to lose power during an actual storm, I believe. Knock on wood.
There you go.
Yeah, what the hell? I was gonna ask somebody something. Shit. I feel like it was you, Benny. I feel like I was gonna ask you something, but I forget.
Well, I went home and visited family for Easter yesterday. And
Oh yes,
whilst
happy
home,
Easter. Yes.
yes, happy Easter. We're recording on 420. And while I was home, I went through an old tub of Hab stuff, and I have show and tell to happen real quick because for full superstition and voodoo reasons, I brought back one of the rally towels from the 2010 run, so we can hopefully get a repeat of
Oh
the
yeah.
2010 Washington series. I got that kicking around. And then the other thing, which y'all might remember, because there was a Facebook photo of me on there wearing it, and I don't know if y'all were there that night. I know Dylan was, but this tiny little Habs jersey.
Is that when you put it on?
Yeah, yeah, this tiny little Habs
Yes.
jersey, which I once upon a time poorly tried to put Watson on the back
Oh
of.
yeah, look at that.
It was my brother's, then was mine, and then now that I found it and we washed it, and a lot of the stains that I was worried about came out. Actually, it was went surprisingly well. I bought a number kit for it, and it's going to be my niece Cora's first jersey.
Very nice. Very
So
nice.
that's gonna be a project of mine coming up shortly.
After you put it on at the end of this pod, it's going to her.
I'm not putting it on. It won't fit me anymore. It barely went onto my body when I was like 15, 16, however old I was in that picture.
Yeah.
It's not going to fit on me now. But anyhow.
Well, hey, that's
So,
pretty
Mike,
cool.
Mike, what have I been converted over to?
Oh yeah, so Nick was converted. So I don't know if you guys remember when I first moved down here, I was like, listen, the spray is not the way for the sunscreen. You gotta go with the lotion because there's multiple layers to it. So the lotion, one, the coverage is better because you actually have to rub it on yourself. And
Yep.
two, it keeps your skin moist. Not that you really need it down here, but
the three, I'll add the three,
yeah.
is waste way less.
Yeah, the
Way
spray,
less
dude, you're
waste.
spraying and like a quarter of it's missing.
So you're
Especially if you're spraying your
sunscreening the
arm
air.
or yeah,
Yeah.
you're Like Nick was telling me, he's frozen right now, but I'll tell you. He was telling me that I think he went through an entire bottle of the spray. He went through an entire bottle of the spray, he told me, in one day.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, the majority of the spray in one day, yeah. So it was also windy. And so every time you go and try and spray it, you're like, oh, the fucking wind is just blowing it. So you're facing your face wind, you're trying to spray it on, but you're also like, where is this all going? So I'm spraying like to get it to cover as much as I can. Mind you, it's just blowing everywhere at the same time. So I'm like, fuck. So then the next morning I wake up and I'm spraying my feet and I'm like, or we're ready to go. Not when I wake up, but we're getting ready to go out and I'm spraying my feet. I'm like, this fucking bottle's gone already. We're a day into the trip. So I ended up using Liz's, but I still ended up having enough spray left to like do my legs because as Mike probably knows, putting sunscreen on your legs is one of the worst feeling things ever.
Yeah, you know
Because
what?
it's like you're rubbing the freaking cream into your legs and the sand is exfoliating your skin at the same time.
Yeah, that's the only problem is like you're not getting the sand off then. And once you start rubbing in the sunscreen and there's sand involved in that situation, it's not gonna happen.
Until you go take a dip into the water, it's not.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sandy.
But then you're wet and it sticks to you anyway. So it's honestly, yeah. Yeah, but the cream's the way to go, or the creme, as Nick would say.
So my next any more trips to Florida, I will be a lotion sunscreen guy.
He's gonna be a cream guy. He's a big cream guy.
He's gonna be a cream boy. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to spray up into the NOCO just because UV isn't
fine.
quite as bad up here. But
yeah, you'll be fine up there. All right, gentlemen. Let's obviously playoffs have started. Let's quickly recap how the season ended. It was pretty regular for most, but I do want to talk to Benny, of course. That got a little bit hairy. Woo, that got a little bit hairy.
Yeah, no, they were getting concerning.
Down to the last game, the very last game.
The only one I was, because they before the last 4 games of the year, which in the last 4 games they lost 3, won the final one, got them in. Right immediately before that, they'd had a 6-game win streak. So I'm like, shit, because mathematically, in all likelihood, a loss or 2 is probably coming up. That's just
Very true.
That's just ups and downs. Like that's just how that works. I mean, yeah, you can be St. Louis going on like what did they end up like a 12-game streak or something?
Yeah, that
Like,
was they ended up at a 12-game win streak. Pretty wild.
But in terms of your usual win-loss, that doesn't generally happen. And the game against Ottawa pissed me off, but I'm like, okay, it's a good team, and they had a marathon to end out the season schedule-wise. So like, all right, fine. And then Toronto, they stay in it, 1-0 loss in overtime. Okay, fine. The one that pissed me off was being in the driver's seat in a game against Chicago and blowing that shit. I'm like, that's not really forgivable, guys. Like, if you want to be in this, if you want to do this,
You got to win those games.
you gotta do this.
Ottawa did the
Like,
same thing with them. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know if you
lost to
guys saw
Chicago as
that.
well.
They
Yeah.
went into overtime against them.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
Scrub
So
news.
that was pissing me off. But then I woke up on that Wednesday morning before I went into Montreal for the final game, which that ruled.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up and I see the morning skate notes from Carolina with them saying Rod Brindamore was going to be sitting all of like Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Jacob Slavin, like a bunch of other
geez.
guys, but like their main 3 right there. I think they sat like 6 regulars. I was like, all right, y'all motherfuckers have no excuse. Go and do this goddamn shit. Like, you need to get these fucking points, man. There's no reason you should not be able to do this. I just saw you beat Florida in back-to-back games like a week and a half ago. What the fuck is happening? And it wasn't the prettiest, but they get those points. They lock it down. They don't allow Columbus a chance to which is good that they didn't allow Columbus a chance because holy shit, they just mop up the Islanders the night after.
Oh, man.
Like, God
Took it out. They took
damn.
it out on the Islanders.
Yeah, they did. So you know, it was great to be there while they big 2-goal night from Caden Gooley. That ruled. And it just ruled to be there in the building as it happened. And I went with my grandpa, which was extra cool because you know, him getting to see that it was and us together. It was good. It was a great time. I had a great night. It was very fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
They did make it hairy though.
They
My
did,
goodness.
dude. I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna do it? And because combined with their little losing streak was like Columbus coming in, like they were just
you know,
we're coming for it.
I'm glad they waited as long as they did to pull up that guy from the A, because Jet Greaves I think went like 5-0-0 to end out the year or something stupid like that with like 2 or 3 shutouts. And like,
yeah, there you go.
I'm like, all right, cool. Which I mean, there's also the opposite side of that where it's like, yes, they stumbled at the end, but they made it so Columbus had to be perfect to end it out by going on a 6-game win streak. So it's like you can look at it both ways, but no, they definitely had.
No,
me
they made
nervous
it.
at
They
the
made
end.
the playoffs. So hey, they earned
They
it.
made it.
They earned
They
it.
made it, and it's just not the most encouraging play to go into the
No.
playoffs with. But we'll talk about that once we get
Oh,
to
yeah.
the Washington Montreal series.
Oh,
Anyhow,
yeah.
the rest of the leagues wrap up to the season though. How did we go elsewhere?
I think it was pretty regular. I do want to shout out good for the Blue Jackets, dude.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome
They killed
season.
it.
Awesome season.
Yeah.
A whole lot of really unfortunate, situations at the beginning of the season with Johnny Gaudreau passing away. And they overcame that, and with really a fairly underpowered roster, we're what, 1 point, 2 points outside of a playoff spot?
I
You're
think
right
they
there,
ended 2 points. Yeah.
So hey, good for them. And I wonder if, I know people are all talking about Carberry and I think Arneal may be up there, the Jets coach. I wonder if Dean Evison doesn't get a little look there, because like
this
that's
isn't me. I know this is going to come off as me being a Habs homer, but like in terms of the two young teams that shouldn't really be there, one of them made the playoffs, so I think
Yeah.
St. Louis will get more
Yeah,
looks.
that's true. That's true.
But no doubt that the job he did with the roster he had is it's great. Like they've made themselves into, I will say, probably a more consistently defensively sound team than the Montreal Canadiens. That's for fucking sure. But that's it was a great season for them,
Yeah.
I think, and it was special for them to be able to do that after everything with Johnny. And I think that obviously played into it in terms of giving them a driving factor to sort of rally behind.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you think of them, Nick?
I thought you were probably squeezing your cheeks a little bit because that was getting a little hairy there.
Not even a little bit. It was most
was
days,
full on,
most times of the
dude.
day. Yeah.
You couldn't have fit in a Tic Tac in there.
Nope.
Yeah.
She was clenched
I
before clinched.
How do I look at the damn standings on this thing?
It's in like the other now, or if you're on the phone app, it is anyway. I don't know what it's like on the site.
Oh, this is pissing me off, bruh.
But Nicholas, continue.
Your boys hung on to it, Benny. I'll give them that. How well they're gonna go through the playoffs, I don't know. They don't have a great matchup, I would say. Hard going up against Washington first round right now, but
it's tough.
It could be tough.
But for Benny, I see he's rolling with them. So,
well, yeah, I mean that's just tradition.
I mean that is tradition. If they get
in the bracket,
they're at least getting through the first round with Benny.
I think we're gonna. I know we haven't all talked in a while. I know we're gonna be getting into this conversation in a minute, but
oh god,
I think three of us have very similar mindsets going this year.
Oh dear. I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll talk. So Eric's not going to make it, but he did send his bracket in. And so I'll kind of throw his in when we start talking about that. The Islanders finish at 500 and well outside of a playoff spot. Like, where are we at here? Like almost 10 points outside.
The East was good.
The East was, I don't know if the East was good or if it's just more compact.
Out.
More compact, or like the points
I think the talent pool is more spread out in the East.
Yes,
there's a lot more decided haves and have-nots in the West.
Yeah, very much so. Yes, yeah, because there's some powerhouses over in the West, and whereas here it's like you could see anybody winning anything.
And it's like everybody in the middle 7 of the Eastern Conference is just kind of like, and they're pretty good, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. Hey, we can get right into some playoff talks if you guys want to. Right into some picks.
So, yeah, I think we should. I think
we want to start with the West or the East.
I want to talk about the West a little bit, like what you and I talked about, Mike, earlier in the week.
Okay.
Some unfortunate situation going on for Dallas, right? So I guess I'll just bring it up just because Ben kind of touched on it. What Carolina did, the smart move, where Dallas did not.
Oh yes.
So going into the end of the season, right? So you say Carolina decided to rest, basically all of their most important players so that they don't get hurt.
They're top guys, yeah.
So Dallas did the opposite and decided to play all of their guys. And I don't know I think winning that game would have decided a spot between them and Colorado too, if I remember correctly.
Home ice.
Yeah.
Dallas has home ice by 4 points. So
it didn't really mean anything.
It might have been a situation where they couldn't rest people due to cap stuff.
Right. I don't know what their
because you can't do LTIR. Like, you can't do LTIR space if you're just healthy scratching a guy. He still counts.
Yeah.
So.
So anyway, they end up playing all of their big guns, right? And then in the second, Robertson goes down with I think it was a knee injury. but now he's listed week to week going into the playoffs where they're already missing Heiskanen, right? Who isn't
And
expected
it's
to
not
play in
like
this first round. And
it's not like they were humming
Colorado's
going into
fucking
the playoffs. Either.
Colorado's fucking humming right now.
Yeah.
Not to mention they just bring back in Landeskog finally after 3 years, right?
I
And
straight up did not think that was ever going to happen. It's
Well,
so
neither did
impressive
I.
that he's actually back.
I believe he took the game 1 in from the press box. I will
He
throw
did.
that in there.
he did. He was scratched off game
Yeah.
1. But just you know, could you imagine? I know those guys aren't all the same play. Like I'm sure there's only a limited amount of them that have played with him, like really played with him over the last.
Right.
You know,
Oh, that's an interesting question to
years.
see who in this team's played with him. Yeah.
because
All the
like
big dogs
Makar
on
and
the team
McKinnon,
did
obviously.
but yeah.
Yep.
And like there are a few of them, but like there's also a chunk of that team that hasn't, right? So like how much does it
Yeah.
really mean to them having him come back? But like just to say, yeah, you know, your captain is finally back after this major surgery that he shouldn't be playing off of, right? Not to mention three setbacks I think he had over the course of the last 3 years with other shit that's happened. He tore his MCL right as he was coming back, and then he had just like other problems. I don't know if you guys watched his documentary, but you should. It was pretty good.
I didn't even
But,
notice
I mean,
that.
I know he had a lot of shit happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like just to see him come back, like he said his goal was to get back for the start of the 24 season. Obviously didn't.
Yeah.
And then he was like, at that point, he was like, I might retire. I don't know if I can get back from this at this point. So now he's, instead of starting the 24 season, he's now at the end of the 24 season in the playoffs, right? So it's like you're almost a year past what you targeted. What's happened over the last year to finally get him back to this space?
He's a little bit older, right? He's in his 30s at least.
Yeah.
So,
but
regardless, back to my point, right? Like now you're playing against the Dallas team that's missing 2 major star forwards. You get Colorado's, like I said, humming coming into the playoffs. Plus, you're getting your captain back, and you're like, I'm looking around like, yeah, Dallas should be a contender this year, but then they get fucking steamrolled.
They get kind of crapped on. Well, hey, that brings us to the question. Who do you have in that series, Nick?
I have Colorado.
Benny?
I also have Colorado.
Mainly because the conversation around Robo is he's not day to day, he's weekly.
Likely not coming back for this series.
Right.
Yeah.
And Heiskanen's not expected to be back for this series. So like I don't know how, like, yeah, you got Rantanen, but like I don't know.
Rantanen, who appears to be not at full power. He's been really pedestrian since leaving Colorado, which is really unfortunate for him. Well, I'll tell you this: Eric has Colorado as well. I myself have Dallas.
Okay.
And
how are you feeling?
I don't feel as bad as you might think I do. Two or three of those goals were just fluky.
That opener one was stupid. Like Lehkonen kicking it as he gets knocked to the ice.
There were two or three goals that were just fluky, like bouncy. Which, hey, those happen and they count just as much as the other ones.
Yeah,
but if you take
don't know
those
how much
away,
the score was indicative of the play. Like,
exactly. And Ottinger, I have a good feeling about Ottinger. That's pretty much it. But yeah, common sense would say Dallas.
Not in the greatest spot. They're not in the greatest
would
spot.
Say Colorado, I should say.
Injury wise, for sure, and I do think just the sheer amount of depth that Colorado added as this year went on, and then the surprise Landeskog is probably going to be back in. I know he wasn't in game 1, but I saw quotes from Bednar today being like, he's kind of just we got to make sure he's ready, but like once he's ready, it sounds like he's gonna be in. So I think he's just got to get some practices in with the guys. I know he went and played 2 AHL games, but it's a difference between an AHL regular season game and an NHL playoff game. So
quite a bit.
And on Dallas' side too, right? Like, so Sagan's finally back too after almost a year. Well, no,
Yeah,
it was what, December of 24, so
I
5
don't
months.
remember.
I think
Lengthy
it's been about
injury.
5 months. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's good for them, but does he really? He doesn't make up for Robo or Heiskanen. So
No.
No, because
he might have 5 years ago, but not now.
yeah, I was gonna say it's at this point he's also up there. He's probably older than
Yeah.
Landeskog. If I'm,
No, he definitely is.
he's
I looked
yeah.
up Landeskog. He's 32, and I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Sagan's older than that.
Yep.
I don't know actually though. They actually might be around the same.
They're around the same.
Yeah,
and it's
33. Yep.
yeah. Okay, so it's I mean that's getting up there for hockey.
Yeah.
Especially after coming off of
Especially
more and more
significant
injuries
injuries.
that keeps
It's one thing
stacking
if
up.
you're a guy who's like been good and healthy and kind of Iron Man the whole way through, and you're that old, it seems like you've been handling it. But once you start hitting that with significant injuries, yeah, it usually starts
Yeah.
pile up, bitch.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's go. Let's stay in the Central then, and we'll go up to the top seed, the President's Trophy winners. Therefore, the receivers of the President's Trophy curse. The Winnipeg Jets taking on the scorching hot St. Louis Blues coming in. How about that? How's that for a reward? You
That really
you
is one of
win
the
the regular season,
worst outcomes there.
and you get probably the best team in the last month or two.
Yeah.
There you go.
So St. Louis really found a way to bring it back together at the end of the season there, and
They really did.
that really was the nightmare matchup, I think, for whoever. And I mean, it ended up being Winnipeg, but like whoever ended up getting that top seed was gonna be like, "Oh, cool, great,
Mm-hmm.
we get this team that is like showed itself to be like one of the hottest teams in the league in the last 2 months or so. Okay, cool,
Perfect.
so glad."
And it's Winnipeg as well, who
Um,
have had their fair share of. They're sort of like the Leafs of the West.
they really are. Although the Leafs haven't made it to a conference final yet.
Very true.
I don't know if you count this core as the same one as 2018. A lot of it's different. A lot of it's the same though.
Same goalie, same forwards, other than what's his nuts,
Yeah.
who went to the Rangers
But
or whatever.
to get my pick on this series out of the way, I have the St. Louis Blues staying hot. And I mean, game one was mixed results, but it's only game one.
That's right. That's right.
And I have them taking Winnipeg out because I have very little faith in playoff Winnipeg. I have not really seen much good out of them ever. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, whoever's been here knows the deal with me. I do this entirely vibes based.
It is
I spent
vibey. He's a vibe guy.
I spent 10 minutes on this last night.
I actually went the same this year. I kind of just sat down. So I realized, when was it? Like, I think it was yesterday. So my bracket was done partway through that Winnipeg St. Louis game. I believe it was tied 2-2 at the time that I did it.
Hmm.
So, and listen, all of the games that have happened, the winners were the teams that I didn't pick. So, so I didn't. There was no cheatsiness going on.
Yeah.
But I went the same way. I went pretty vibes based. I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, I kind of like this, kind of like this, kind of like this, and then, yeah, that was how I did it. So, I also have the St. Louis Blues because, yeah, they got that. They got the heat coming in, and on top of that, last time these two goalies saw each other, Bennington got the better of
pretty recent.
Hellebuck. It was
And yeah,
a couple months ago, and it was high pressure once again. And now they've swapped country allegiances.
yeah, it is kind of funny.
It is, yeah.
The swap there.
That is kind of cool. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Nick, who do you have in that series?
I have the Jets in that series.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's like I made my picks pure vibes as well. But I think my headspace on that was just because how good Winnipeg was this season. Like, look at the West standings, and like they're almost exponentially better in their division, right?
Mhm.
Like, I think they were almost 10 points better than Dallas, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like it's hard to say, oh yeah, they're gonna stumble here, and I agree with you guys, right? They have this monkey on their back that they can't play in the playoffs, but I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they play so good in the regular season that now is going to be the time where they're
Yeah,
going to slip up.
I know what you're saying.
But to your point, it's a President's Trophy curse thing, and who knows?
That doesn't mean that they'll necessarily get ousted in the first round. It just means they ain't winning the cup. That's really all it means.
Which is fine because I don't have them winning the cup. So.
Oh, spoiler! Spoiler. All right, let's stay in the West. We'll go down. Let's save LA and Edmonton because that's round 4. We'll save that for the last West team. Vegas, Minnesota. Minnesota makes it in despite all their injuries.
Before we move on, should we rattle off what Eric's picks have been?
Yes, we should. Thank you. I forgot about that.
So Eric
had Colorado. Eric had Colorado and Winnipeg. So he went with same as Nicky.
Alrighty.
He's got the same as Nick so far. This is an interesting bracket he's got here. Kind of like it. All right. So we'll go to Vegas, Minnesota. The ever-present Vegas Golden Knights, top of the Pacific, taking on the second wild card Minnesota Wild. What do we think?
I have Vegas.
Benny?
And for what reasons?
Because they seem to always be getting here. What am I, fucking stupid? They always get to the spot in the season, and it doesn't matter. It seems like every year they're just like, yep, we're going to get back to the playoffs. We're going to do good. We're going to win. We're going to get at least some part of the way through it. So
it does seem to be the case, yeah.
They are pretty consistently at least in the Final Four, yeah.
Somebody's going to be coming back off of LTIR to play for them at this
I don't think they did any shenanigans this year.
No.
Not anything big.
They were shenaniganless, yeah.
Shenaniganless. But yeah, hey, I have Vegas as well. They're just good, dude. They're just consistent. They're good. They've got giant defensemen. They've got very good forwards. Jack Eichel.
Shea Theodore's back too.
Shea Theodore. Yeah, their defense core is, I think, the biggest in the league. And it's not even like just big for being big. They're like big and also can play the game extremely well. So
I also have no faith in Minnesota. So
they're just there's a reason they're the second wild card, like they squeezed in, they were injured. I don't even know who they got back. Did Kaprizov come back? I know.
Yes. Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek are both back, which that was their main problem all year. It was their top winger and their top center.
That does hurt. That does hurt.
Yeah. And I also have Vegas winning, but because I did pretty sure the NHL.com bracket does it where they have you choose the games played in the first round. I just wrote that on my bracket too. I have that series closer than a lot of people do. I have Vegas winning 4-3.
Oh wow! But, I had it in 5
because I do think it's gonna be the fact that they got Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek back right before the end. They got a few games in and looked good. I think Eriksson Ek had a hat trick in a game that Kaprizov also scored the OT winner. But although I think that game might have been against the Sharks, so the fact that happened is its own problem. I could be remembering that wrong. I don't know, but I think that was the case. He was, because they had dueling hat tricks with Macklin Celebrini.
Oh, nice. Double hat tricks.
There was some weird games in the last week or so of the year. But all that to be said, I still have Vegas winning. I think it's going to be closer. Yeah. I think Minnesota is a better team than a lot of people are giving them credit for, but I have Vegas.
Eric also has Vegas, but I will throw out, this could definitely, you're definitely on the right track with it possibly being a close series, because I believe that before their injury issues, Minnesota was one of the top teams in the league.
They were ripping it. Yeah, no, they were doing great. And then their Hart Trophy pace, Kaprizov went down with an injury for most of the season, and as it turns out, that has an effect on things.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So yeah, all four of us have Vegas. So right now, Eric and Nick are the
Identical.
same. They're identical so far. All right, moving on. It's round 4, gents. The Kings, the Oilers. This time switched. Benny, who do you got?
So I have LA finally doing the dang thing. Like I know it's hard to root for Charlie when Lucy's holding the football there again for, is it Lucy? Do I have my Peanuts characters right?
I think so.
Holding the football
Yeah.
there for like
Yeah, she's that
it's
little
the
bastard.
fourth year in a row now, right? This is 4 in a row, or is it just 3 in a row?
I believe this is number 4. Yes, because the Kings are on a 4-year making the playoff streak, and every single year has been against the Oilers.
Yeah, so I
And they
do think
lost
though
every single time.
this is the best situation they've been in.
100%.
In goal, they're so clearly ahead right now. Stuart Skinner's been at and where Darcy Kemper's been at. Injury wise, Edmonton's kind of in a similar situation as Dallas, where Ekholm's not going to be there, just not going to be there, and that with their defense, other than him, is
It's really.
I mean, it's
suspect.
kind of
Evander
always
Kane's
been
not going to be back
the
either.
thing. Yeah, and they bring Trent Frederick in from Boston injured while he's in Boston. He comes back for a game or two, I think, and then goes out with injury again.
I think it was the first game. I don't even think he got through the first game back.
McDavid and Draisaitl have both been injured towards the end of the season. I don't know where they're at. They're probably not at 100%, but although granted, we saw Leon Draisaitl fucking be a cannon in the offense. Broken something in his foot. I don't remember quite what it was, but
Yeah.
So who knows if that'll have that much of an effect. But I do think all of the factors are kind of finally forming up to have it be in LA's
Have a
favor
different
this year.
situation, yeah. Let me real quick correct myself. Earlier I said Minnesota was the second wild card. They are the first wild card. So let me just on the fly correction. Yeah, I have the Kings as well for a multitude of reasons. Basically everything Ben said. I think they're at the very least right now they're playing better than the Oilers. The Oilers, the second half of the season, they've been dealing with injuries for their top 2 players as well. They've just been limping their way to the finish line, and they just have no depth. And it's basically Leon and Connor. If they can drag the team, if they go beast mode, they can do it. But I think LA is just the better team right now. On top of that, they grabbed home ice advantage, and they lost a total of 10 games at home this year. A total. And only 6 of those in regulation. They lost 6 games in regulation at home. Yep. So they are a very, very tough team at home. And now they get 1 extra home game in the series. So that's what I think. What about you, Nikki?
So I have Edmonton just because just because it's hard to bet against Draisaitl and McDavid, even with them being out or being injured, and maybe they're a little bit better now, right? I'm sure they're not full, but it's hard to bet against them, and even a 80% McDavid Draisaitl pair is hard to bet against, at least for the first round.
I got you there. Yep.
Yeah,
I see that. What do you say if I throw out the name Stuart Skinner?
Who knows?
What about Jeff
That is
Skinner?
kind of the whole thing, yeah.
He's been the wild card for them for the last 3 years, right?
It's pretty much it's how the goaltending goes. It's how the team goes, and it's just been so inconsistent.
Right, like it's crazy because I'm watching part of the Colorado game last night, and McKinnon's just fucking flying down the ice, and you know that McDavid and Draisaitl can do that on the flip of a switch at any point in a game, right? So it's like, I don't know. It was a vibey pick. I was like, they'll probably win the first round. I don't think they're going to get any farther, but
I mean,
we'll
you
see.
have a good cause to pick them.
Yeah, they did
like they've
just
won
go to
3 in a
game.
row,
They
and they
just-
went to the final.
They just went to a cup final.
Oh yeah,
Game
right.
7 of a cup
They were
final last year.
They were 2 goals away from a cup,
Yeah.
basically.
So like they were right there.
Yeah, I got that.
But
And
to
then
your point, right? Like you're missing a major defense piece to the pie there, and
really
like,
the only
they
one that
still
does
have-
defense.
They still have Bouchard, and like he's really all you need for your defense, right? It seems like for the last couple of years, but like
Wow.
I guess it depends on how he and Nurse play, and
Well, Nurse,
whatever.
man, that contract hurts, man.
Yeah,
It does.
I gotta say, dude, it's like, oh dear, what were we doing?
we were signing him at the same
We
time
were
as every other team was signing a star D man, and said, "Fuck, we
Yeah,
got to
but-
give him the same money."
All
yeah,
the other ones were good.
no,
Yeah,
What,
but
Seth
like,
Jones,
okay,
Sethy Jones.
we make fun of this Nurse contract, but I think at the time, like he was playing better than what.
He had just come off a very good, I think, production season. I don't know. This is all coming out of my cheeks because I actually don't know. But he had to have come off some kind of season that was like worthy of that. Because otherwise, what are we doing here?
I mean, the GM of the Edmonton Oilers was also like late career Ken Hall.
Yeah, that's
Like-
right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
The whole reason why he ended up leaving Detroit was because he couldn't figure out how to general manage after a cap got implemented,
Yes, that's right.
and he gave like fucking Darren Helm like a 7-year deal for some stupid. Like he would just start doing shit.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, but
not-
I'm just saying, like, I think when Nurse got his new contract was the same time like Renski got a deal, and I can't like there
Sethy
was a
Jones.
he was around the
Seth
same
Jones.
times as.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the other one because
That
it
was
was like not what is it 9.2 or something.
Yeah.
We're like, wow,
Yeah.
9.2. And then guess what? It was Chicago, so they sucked.
Yeah.
And he didn't really do much, but like he's one guy, so it's like,
Yeah.
Imagine if Seth Jones had stayed with Columbus with Zach Werenski. That could have been they might have
Yeah.
made the playoffs this year,
Could
dude.
be interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Eric also had the Kings. He's a Kings man. He's a Kings
He is a
fan.
Kings man.
That is his West team, I believe, from the Johnny Quick days. So I wonder why he doesn't like the Rangers. All right. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go to round 2 in the West, or do you want to jump over to round 1 in the East, or do you want
Let's
to take a break and
finish
then
out.
do that?
Finish off the West.
Okay.
Finish out the West, take a little break.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, yeah, let's just get all the way through the West, get our cup finalists from the West, and then
Yeah.
we'll split it
That
in
is
half. There we go.
that is what that means. Yes.
Because us three, we only care about the East. We don't really care about the West. So it should
No
be
one
pretty
cares
quick.
about the West.
Yeah, fuck the West.
They're gonna whoever's coming out of the West is probably winning it. All right,
Yeah,
so
sure.
second round. Eric and Nick each have Winnipeg, Colorado.
Yep.
So where do you come down on that? A
Uh,
rematch of round 1 from last year.
Yeah.
where it was
So,
a vicious
like I
spanking.
kind of mentioned at the beginning, while I have some faith in Winnipeg, I don't have a lot of faith in Winnipeg. And I kind of am on. I'm a big believer in Colorado right now. So I'm going with Colorado.
Good reason to be. They
Yeah, oh yeah.
they're a fucking good team.
Hold on,
Holy shit.
I think I'm just realizing something that we'll get to later in the.
I turned into a big.
Jeez, yeah.
I turned into a big Landeskog fanboy after watching his little mini doc.
the
so.
doc? Oh baby,
Yeah.
dude, he's gonna come out. Nick's gonna be crying on his couch watching it. There's my boy. There he is. He's back. So you got Colorado. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's so wild to me that the President's Trophy winning Jets it's like it seems like they would have no chance.
Even if they make it through that, which I mean, tell me you'll have if they make it through that shitty matchup in the round, they then get the gift of being playing against the Colorado Avalanche,
Likely against the Colorado
Or
Avalanche.
the Stars, which
or the Stars, which like I mean
That
that's also a
beat
hell
the
of a
Colorado
roster,
Avalanche.
right?
Right.
So either way, you're not like in a
It's
great
rough.
spot.
It's rough. It's rough. Hey, it's the dude.
plus,
It's the
like you
postseason,
guys
man.
mentioned, you gotta get past St. Louis first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You got to get
So-
past Jordan Bennington and the St. Louis Blues. All right, Benny, you and I have similar. So you have Colorado and the Blues.
Yes,
What do you think about that? If that comes to pass,
I have Colorado making it out of that series just because I'm very on the Colorado bandwagon. Everything I said about the first round matchup, they did such a good job addressing quite literally every single one of their team's needs. Like I have never seen a GM do that good of a job at just being like, oh, we have these holes and here's this, just it's there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here, let me
Um,
just completely revamp my goalie situation as well. All right,
Yep.
like
Yeah,
I'm just
both
gonna
goalies
roll
out.
with two other guys.
2 new goalies in.
One of
And,
which
like-
was an old Star.
yes, Wedgwood.
They got Scotty
it's,
Wedgwood. Oh,
Yeah,
what a
yeah,
beauty!
They got it's the all wood tandem.
It's the wood
Oh,
goalies.
yeah.
Blackwood, Wedgwood.
Dang.
So
Who's ready
I-
for some wood?
I just feel very strong about Colorado. Well, you'll see how strong I feel about Colorado. But
Spoiler alert.
They
Everyone
Teaser.
except everyone except me feels very strongly about Colorado.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Colorado making it to the conference finals for me.
There you go. There you go. So Colorado coming out of the Central Division. Very good pick. I myself, going back to it, Eric has Colorado as well. Beating the Jets in the second round. I, of course, have a crazy matchup of Dallas and St. Louis. Now, at this point, I feel like if the St. Louis Blues get through round one, look out. They're coming. Old Gloria, whatever the hell that song was.
Yeah, Gloria.
So I have them beating the Stars in round two. Dallas Stars fight their way through Colorado, and they just can't get through the white hot St. Louis Blues. And yeah, I have the Blues coming out of the central side of the bracket, central corner.
Alrighty.
Go. I'm trying to think. I don't even really like any of the players on that team. I feel like if they get her going, that could spell trouble.
Pavel Buchnevich.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Robert
yes.
Thomas has been the one that's tearing
Robbie
it up for them
Thomas,
because
yeah,
I
he
know
has been
him
really
and
good.
Nick Suzuki have been like battling each other for like top points since the Four Nations break. Like they were both.
I think Robbie
popping the
got him
fuck
at
off.
the end. I think Robbie
Yeah.
got him at the by the end, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the Pacific Final, I have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Kings, which I believe a few of us
I
do.
think everybody did.
Everybody
other
except
than Nick.
Nikki. I have the Golden Knights, man. They just do it. They just do it. There's no other reason. They just do it. They don't have any huge injury issues right now. I see no reason why they can't just make quick work of it. Although I believe I have it going to. Oh, I didn't pick games. You don't pick games for the second round.
Yeah, they only have it for the first.
But yeah, so that's my that's who I have. I have the Golden Knights and the St. Louis Blues. Wow, in the Western Final.
Interesting.
Benny, what do you think about that?
So
And does
in
your bracket differ?
in my Vegas LA matchup, 2018 rematch. Here we go. I have LA coming up on the right side of this rematch. Actually,
Ooh.
I think I just feel good about them, and I think if they make it past their boogeyman, I think they're gonna be feeling all right. And I don't watch enough Western Conference hockey for me to have any other deeper insights than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. I don't have different reasons. I go to bed before most of those friggin' games start.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't watch them.
You just don't watch them. All right. So Eric had Vegas and LA as well. So we'll go right to him. He has the Vegas Golden Knights. So there we go.
I have Vegas and Edmonton.
Yes, you
obviously.
have a. Is that a rematch from last year Pacific Final, or was
I
that
think
the
so.
conference final rematch?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Vegas, Edmonton.
feel
I
like-
don't. I think that
I
was
feel
the
like
conference
Dallas
final. I
and
think
Vegas played last year, and I
they
think
did in the
Edmonton
first
was on the
round.
other side.
Yeah, because I believe Vegas squeaked in. Vegas was a wild card team,
Yeah.
so they ended up, I think, meeting in the conference final.
Yeah. So I have Vegas
look it up.
winning that because of the reasons
didn't
you
Vegas
say
bounce
about
the
Vegas
last
winning,
year? I
Mike,
don't know.
but also the reasons why Edmonton can't really make a push this year, probably can't make a push this year.
So you have Vegas as well.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody's got Vegas coming out of the Pacific except Benny. Except old Benny. Is this it?
I got LA.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Vegas was a wild card. Vegas was a wild card. Can I see
Did they
how
get
it?
bounced in the first round? I think because I think I'm misremembering. I think I'm remembering Vegas beating Edmonton in the conference finals when Vegas went on their cup run. I think that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think if
Um,
this is the correct one, it looks like it was Dallas Oilers
yes.
in the West Final. Yep. So I was wrong. Whoops! I just exited out of it. Didn't mean to. Oh well. All right. So Western Final. I'll go first since mine's crazy. Blues, Golden Knights. I got the Golden Knights coming out of the West. Not much to say
Okay.
there. It's the Golden Knights again. I've been saying it the whole damn podcast, but
Mm.
I just think they're a team without flaws.
They're
That's-
damn near.
That's basically it. So
Damn near.
whoever wants to go next, I'll go. You know what? I'll go next. I'll do a double feature with Rick. So Rick's got Vegas, Colorado. Shocker here. He's got Colorado. So, moving on. Nick,
I'll
you
be the
also
other
have
Colorado boy. Oh,
Nick.
Sorry.
You also have Vegas, Colorado as your Western Final.
I
Correct?
do.
oh yes.
And I
Who do you
have
taking it?
I have Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to keep the Colorado train going,
Make it a trio.
Colorado playing the Kings for me. I have Colorado coming out of it because
Yeah.
Colorado is very good.
Yeah, I would take Colorado in that series as well. But you know what? They can't. They will not beat the Stars. The Stars are coming back with a vengeance next game. All right, so there we go. That wraps up the Western side of the bracket. Don't go anywhere. We will be covering the Eastern side, the side that everyone cares about, in just a few minutes. Because you got to take a break,
I
right,
got
Benny?
piss.
All right, Benny's
Yeah.
got it. Benny needs a little break. All right, we'll be back.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty. All right, here we go, gentlemen. The Eastern Conference side of the bracket. Shall we start? Where shall we start?
At the top.
Let's start right at the top. So we got the game that's currently going on right now. Game 1 is currently happening right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs, the ever-cursed Toronto Maple Leafs, going up against the Ottawa Senators. First time in the playoffs since their crazy-ass Eastern Conference final run of 2017
Indeed.
with Erik Karlsson. In fact, I don't believe there's a single member of that team still on the team, which makes sense because it was like, what, 8 years ago now? Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember hearing. Oh, I think Shabbat was on that team like in the regular season that year, but
Oh,
he
yep.
was not on the playoff run.
That's the only one that would have been. Yeah, that's the only one.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that? It's the Leafs. Hey, this is the first time they've won the division. They won the division. They've secured home ice at least for the first 2 rounds if they make it that far. What do we think?
No, it's not the first time. It's the first time anybody's going to talk about because
The
they don't talk
Atlantic
about the
Division.
Canadian.
The Atlantic
Oh, yeah.
Division. They
Yes.
did win the Canadian Division. They actually ran
Yes.
away with the Canadian Division.
Yeah.
And they got crapped on anyway.
Yes.
So where are we at? Where are we at with this one? I believe I know where we're all at.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick just because it's the Leafs. So Sens in 7.
It's a vibes-based bracket from Benny. You know he's not picking the Leafs because they do have the worst vibes.
So I can't pick against Ottawa in this round just because they made the playoffs and they're my team, right?
Oh, so you had to go with Ottawa, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's not that they don't have a good chance against them. Like they're also kind of humming right now too. They've got Kachuk back. He didn't play like the last month of the season. I think he played the last game against who the fuck did they play? Carolina.
Yes, they played Carolina to wrap it out, and they won. I think it was like 7-5 or something. It was a game.
Yeah, it was a fucking ton of goals. And they've got like some of their forwards are just like in really good shape right now. Stützle looks fucking nuts.
Dude, your boy Pinto just shot it right into that dude's breadbasket. That was terrible.
Right into the chest. It was pretty bad. Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it, but yeah.
See, that's the thing too. Like, so Pinto's been playing good lately. He's scored in like the last three games. Batherson's got a goal in the last like 3 games. Plus, I think he scored at least 2 against Carolina. So it's like I was torn when I made this pick because I'm like, Toronto's good, and don't get me wrong,
like if you look at the numbers and the like if you look at the makeup of the team, there's almost no reason to not pick Toronto. But
yeah, if you took and put any other logo on the front of those jerseys and like literally there'd be no reason to not. And also aside from like it's the best group they've had around the Matthews, Marner, Nylander, the whole shebang.
Yes.
It's the best group they've had defense core wise, goalie tandem wise. Their goalies are nuts. They're the best positioned and they're winning in this game 1 right now, although Ottawa's kind of been putting it to them and then they just got 2 goals,
right?
But I do still think the upstart Ottawa Senators will take it in 7 games because if it gets to a game 7, I'm sorry, the Leafs are losing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I have Ottawa winning it in 6. And again, I said it's a vibey thing. I really don't. If I was remaking this bracket, taking bias out of it, I wouldn't pick them. Just because like it's their first year back in the playoffs in a long time. Like now we're finally seeing this team like Melnick wanted them to be and finally getting into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And he called it, right? Wasn't it within 3 years they're making the playoffs? And
Oh
it's the
shit!
third
Did
year.
he actually call it? Oh gosh!
I think he did.
There you go, dude. What a call!
So like, yeah, I picked him to win, but we'll see.
I am excited to watch this series. Well, that's upsetting. I'm excited to watch this series.
My face was about 10 seconds ago.
Mostly because Brady Tkachuk will be a force if he plays the way that he can. He will be a force in the playoffs. So that's why I'm excited to watch the series. I am going to be the downer here. I have Toronto, and I have Toronto in 6. So I think.
So my thing, like, so Ottawa was a little.
They're going to win in 7.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Ottawa was a little shaky towards the end of the year here too. They skidded a little bit, and like there was a point where they were like hot on the heels of Florida, and they were coming after Tampa too. Remember, I sent that message, and I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have sent that."
I do remember that because at that moment I was also like, "Oh shit, the Habs are kind of right behind them," and then the Habs also promptly decided to be ass.
So like my hope the whole time was Ottawa was going to jump Florida and not have to play Tampa, not have to play Toronto. I wanted them to play Tampa.
I
So I
don't
was
know if
kind
that's
of right. I know.
a.
You know what's funny?
And
What's funny is both of those teams, Ottawa played extremely well in
They
the
did.
regular
They
season.
kicked the shit out of Toronto in the regular seasons. I mean, that
And
doesn't
they and
really
they
always
and they
mean a
they
lot.
didn't
but
play. The Lightning played like cheeks against Ottawa in the regular season too. So both of those, they're comfortable playing again.
so, like, remember how at the beginning of this I mentioned something about Ottawa taking Buffalo to an OT game? Like, they were within a couple points of Florida. So, like, getting that win and getting one more win would have just, like, gotten them there. So it kind of pissed me off that happened. I'm like, it's fucking Buffalo. And at this point in the year, Buffalo, like,
They turn it on, baby.
Buffalo's playing well at a point in the season where they shouldn't be
Yeah.
because they're fucking stupid. Like, Ottawa, you got to take that game.
Oh, side note, real quick. I saw there was was it? I think it was a clip of Ryan Whitney from Chicklets, and it got like reposted or it was somewhere on Instagram or whatever. And he was saying, "What the fuck is Buffalo doing? They don't know how to tank. Like the year's done. Like get your pick." And there was just droves of Sabres fans being like, "Nah, we don't need young guys right now. We need guys who can come in and affect things like whatever." I'm like, you know what? You can trade to get a pretty good guy you could use right now is a first overall pick.
Baby, imagine what you could get for a first overall pick.
I don't think this is the argument you think it is, guys. Like
tank for that first and then look around, man. You get somebody for that.
Yeah, like
man,
come
who
on.
do you get? Who do you? That's an interesting. Maybe next podcast we can think about. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
who
but
possibly
I was like,
could be available.
I was reading those comments, being like, guys, no, like no.
Also,
anyhow.
like does anyone know what they need?
That's true.
I don't even think they know.
No, you're not wrong. I don't. No, that's the thing. That's the last thing they need.
Not
Buffalo is
relocation.
great. That like that's a hockey market when they're good, when they have a reason to show up.
I see.
New owners probably, but
even then, like the owner's been like that team is so.
Yeah, but Pagula
good
cares about
on paper
about the Bills.
Yeah, he definitely gives more, and it's America. Like that's gonna happen. But
yeah, you're gonna give more shit about the NFL team.
All right, let's not get into it.
Anyhow,
let's not
the Sens.
Let's not shit on the Sabres anymore.
So so Mike, you take Toronto in this series. Me and Benny have Ottawa. What's Eric got?
And my boy Eric's coming with me on Toronto. Yep.
Fair.
So me and Eric are we go with kind of the boring kind of like whatever. They did it for the second time in 9 years or whatever it'll be. Yeah. So me and Eric have Toronto. Let's move down to the Battle of Florida. By the way, that was Battle of Ontario. Should have thrown that in there, but I didn't.
Yeah, we got the provincial battle and then the state battle.
Yes,
Here we go.
Yes. The Battle of Florida.
We would much rather preferred to see the Tkachuk brothers battle, but whatever.
Oh, man,
that could have been an interesting series.
Hey.
That could have been, but
it still could happen.
It could still
could happen in the second round, gentlemen. Oh dear, what a situation that would be. They'd have to fight, right? I know they've said they're like, yeah, we're not gonna fight. Come on, throw down once. Just do a fake one. Do a fake one just to get people hype.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I'll go first. I got my Bolts, man. They were hot. They were hot since the Four Nations. They got, like I said, they've got
been fucking shit hot. So yeah, they've been one of the best teams in the league since the Four Nations. I feel like.
Did they also completely just fucking obliterate Florida like a week ago?
They did. There's an asterisk on that. They're missing Tkachuk. They're missing Ekblad. They didn't have Reinhart playing. They didn't have Bob in the net. So they did, but it wasn't. They weren't at full strength.
Gotcha.
The Lightning were, because they are under the same cap situation where they don't have enough.
They can't
room
sit guys
to sit people. They're like,
if they
no,
sit guys, they'll be playing with like 10 skaters, 10 forwards, and like 4 defensemen.
They were like, no, Kucherov, you can't have a break. You must play this final game.
Just play. You don't have to play hard.
Yeah.
Don't get hit.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have Lightning. They've just been really good. I'm hoping that Tkachuk doesn't come back at full strength. I'm hoping he comes back and is a little bit less of what he normally is. And I'm also hoping that Bobrovsky kind of goes back to
His every other season.
his every other
shittiness.
season. That's
Yeah.
not happened in a while, actually.
Yeah, no, he's kind of just been good for a minute
He's been
now.
he's been kind of just like nice and steady. But that's my hope. And on top of that, the Lightning have 6 skaters with 20 or more goals. They have 7 on the roster. Bjorkstrand is out right now.
right.
And I believe they
but
have
he's still like I know he's missing game 1, but
have
he's not
ruled him.
expected to miss the playoffs.
They've ruled him out for at least this series. I know that.
Oh, I thought
round 1.
what I saw was just game 1, but
I believe it's
it
the
might
whole
have
series,
developed
but
further.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I heard the hockey guy say that as well.
Yeah.
Which also, if you're not subscribed to the hockey guy on YouTube, do. He's great.
That guy
Literally the
just
hockey guy. He
fires out content.
He does.
Good
It's
Lord.
insane.
It's like 5
no.
videos a day, and he's there with his whiteboard and his 8 million jerseys, and
I love the simplicity of it.
It
like
is,
it's
yeah.
I
It's
love
nice.
he's got a formula. It works great, and it's just so wholesome. Like I enjoy those videos very
Yeah.
much. I will always shamelessly plug him. He's great.
yeah, he's a beauty. And also, I just want to throw this in. I believe the Lightning have 5 30-goal scorers.
Damn.
It's at least 4. They've got Cooch. They've got Point. They've got Gensel. And they've got Hagel. So
Damn, not bad.
okay, Hagel.
Hagel with 35 goals, 0 of them on the power play. He has 35 regular even strength goals on the season. So I feel good about the Lightning in that first round, and I think they can take back the state of Florida, which they lost last year. And kind of the year before.
They did, but it's a very different team and situation. Well, I mean, not that different team, but different situation where they were at injury-wise, and still, yeah, kind of different team. And leading into that, I guess I'll just go with my pick. I also have Tampa. And it's for similar reasons to why I have LA over Edmonton, where we know Matthew Tkachuk is probably not 100%. We know Sam Bennett is almost certainly not 100%. We know Ekblad. Is he going to be out the first 2 games, right? I think, is it 1 or 2 games he's got left for
2.
his suspension?
I believe 2.
Yeah. So missing him. Marchand, they acquired injured, and how much he got back to health before he was like, I need to get some games before the playoffs. Who knows? As cool as it was that the Habs beat them 2 games in a row, I don't think they should have. But they did, and I think that speaks a little bit about where Florida was at. Although granted, the Habs beat them twice earlier in there too. Anyway, the Lightning, I think they're going to take it. I really like where the Lightning are at. One of the hottest teams in the league since Four Nations break. They've been killing it, and I just think they're in a better spot. Certainly a better spot than Ottawa is right now. But it's yeah, Lightning.
Ben, listen, it's just game 1.
Going for Lightning.
They're getting their playoff legs under them. Give them a break. They'll come back.
And listen. Let me bring you back to a little Lightning versus Leafs series in 2023, round 1, where in game 1 the Lightning pump them in Toronto 7-1.
And then what happened?
And then get pumped.
Yeah.
And then they lose the series, end up losing the series in 6 or whatever it was. So hey,
one
just
game
one.
does not a series make.
Just game 1. All right, thank you, Yoda.
You're welcome.
So
yeah, who do you
I can
have,
make
Nick?
this short and sweet because you guys pretty much have said every reason why Tampa should beat Florida this round, and that's also how I feel. So I have Tampa.
All right, and I think Rick feels similarly because he also has Tampa. So Toronto, Tampa for me and Rick. Ottawa, Tampa for you two. But let's move down. Let's go to the Washington Montreal series. What do we think? What do we think here, Benny? We'll go to you first.
Well, we're gonna go full Habs apologist on this one because I mean, I did the homer bracket as I always do. Fully knowing that, yeah, no, probably not. But I root for the miracles. I root for the underdog runs. And granted, most of my beloved playoff memories are Habs underdog runs, one of which included a first round win against this very team as a 1 versus 8 seed with a number 14 top line center with a number 13 on his wing. I'm taking all the superstitions. It was Plekanec and Camilleri before. It's Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield.
That
now.
was the top line?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
Which is why
And
I'm
they
like,
won.
this is and they won. No, that. Well, I mean, yeah, they won because Halak
It was
made
Halak.
45 to 50 plus save games the last 3 games of the series that time.
Yep. That was the Halak
I think
year.
they'll be able to hold themselves into the series a bit more this time around. I know that the Habs end of the year was not great, but I will posit they got points out of the 7 out of their last 10 games, I think it was. Which, you know, it's not great, but it's hanging in. And while they needed to clinch, they had some flubs. It's gonna the biggest thing is they're gonna need Demidov to be a factor. Which was tough to happen when he comes in with 2 games remaining, and I think he got 1 morning skate in all of that time. So now we've had a few days between games. I know they've had at least 2 practices. You can get a little more settled in. You can get a little more sorted out, and you're focusing on one team. You're focusing on one team. So I know it's not rational, and I know a lot of things are going to have to go right, but I have the Habs taking the Capitals to Game 7 once again and coming out on top.
Oh,
Interesting.
Nick, would you care to comment or give
Uh,
us your pick?
yeah. So good on the Canadians for sneaking in. You know,
5th last in
I-
the league last
I
time.
feel like this is the first time
Playoffs,
that
right?
all 3 of us could say that our teams have been in the playoffs in a long time.
It's
Well,
been
yeah, because you haven't since we started the show.
you
Yeah.
haven't since we started the show, and then before that it was 2017.
Yeah.
Tampa
don't
was
think
kind of
the
like in a
Habs were in
weird
it.
period too at one
The
point
Habs
too,
were in
right?
it that year. They got bounced in the first round.
Oh, all right.
Like
Yeah.
it's been a
17
while.
was the
So,
weird
like, I
year
applaud
where
them.
the Lightning didn't make it, I believe.
I applaud
yeah,
them
it was.
for making it in, right? Now I am also not a big believer in Washington. My brain can't compute how they've gotten to this point with this team that they have, right? It's just feels like a slightly younger Penguins team in my mind, but I know it's obviously
Interesting.
constructed differently. But I don't know.
Interesting.
I ended up deciding I'm going to pick Washington, and
mean,
sorry, Ben. I want them to sweep
No,
them.
Oh, wait, you want them to sweep them, or you think they're gonna sweep?
okay.
I want them, and I think they are based on my bracket. So
Can I change my bracket? Fuck the Sens. All right. It's fine to say they're
Oh
losing,
gosh,
probably, but I want them to sweep them. All right.
I want it
Okay.
desperately.
I'm happy for you that they're in, but I also want you to see some pain.
Oh my god.
Have you seen the last 3 years of Habs hockey? I've had plenty.
Oh,
Plenty.
get destroyed, Ben. Get destroyed. All right. I also have the Capitals. And I have it in 6. I think it'll be a bit of a battle. I think it'll be a little bit of a battle, but I think the Capitals have too much going. I think they have a little bit too much depth, I think, for the Canadians to kind of figure out. And then I assume that Montembeault has been playing very well.
He
'Cause
has
they've been
been
playing
nuts.
very well, 'cause
He's
they've been winning.
nuts since the Four Nations. He's
Yeah.
got like a 920 since the Four Nations.
Yeah, so he's been playing
been
very
good.
well. Charlie Lindgren, who I don't think played last couple weeks or a couple days or whatever. If he can come in and do what he was doing most of the season, that kind of is a wash. and then I just feel like the offense from the Capitals it's right
Were
there.
you thinking of Logan Thompson? Because he's the one who's been out the last couple weeks and might be coming back.
I was thinking of Logan Thompson. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Logan Thompson, not Charlie Lindgren. It was Charlie Lindgren the other day or the other year.
I don't blame y'all. I mean, actually, wait before I do my last point. Eric, what was his?
Oh, Eric's was Washington. He also had Washington.
But I will read off this really quick. Habs and Caps stats since the Four Nations break. Habs goals allowed.
Oh, it's been
69.
worse. Oh yeah, they've been worse.
Habs goals allowed 69, 7th.
Nice.
Caps goals allowed 92, 25th. Habs goals scored 82, 15th. Not great. Caps goals scored 90, 8th. 8 goals apart. Habs goals allowed 5-on-5. This is the big one for me. Habs goals allowed 5-on-5, 45. Habs goals allowed, or Caps goals allowed 5-on-5, 69, 30th.
All right.
I am aware. I'm not crazy. I know it's gonna be, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be an upset. It's like, I know all that. Your picks make sense, but I can't.
There are numbers
into...
that could indicate some possible habitants. Could come in firing.
Indeed, and I just can't go into a playoff that they are in and not root for them. And just while we're here, because you were doing the whole goals thing, does not match up to the Lightning, I will freely admit, but it's a crazy step up from where the Habs have been in past years. They had 4 20-plus goal scorers, which is unheard of for them. They had 20 from Lion A, 21 from Brendan Gallagher. 21 from Brendan Gallagher,
there we
which
go.
is crazy to me.
There we go.
Nick Suzuki had 30. That was his second year in a row of having 30-goal year as a primarily known as a playmaker guy. 30-goal year, 89 points. He was right fucking there.
Almost to 90. Almost to 90.
And then Cole Caulfield was unsurprisingly the goal leader with 37. But they have enough offense where if the bounces go the way they need to go, it's doable. I don't love their chances, but it is doable, damn it. And that's where I'll leave it.
All right.
Here's my question for you. Are you going to any of these games?
Yes.
Ooh, good question.
I'm going to I'm a week ahead from now, I will be at a game. I will be at a game next Sunday at this very time.
Is that going to be game 4?
Yeah, 4.
Right.
Their series is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
That'll be the night of the
no Saturday night, no Saturday night game. Oh, fuck off. No Saturday night game in Montreal is wild to me. But
I gotta talk about the scheduling for 1 second here. How in the hell?
Weird shit.
Dude, I'm looking at the things. I'm like, oh, let's see. What day did the Lightning play this weekend? What day? What day do they get started? I look, I'm like, okay, it's not Saturday. All right, so they'll get started on Sunday. I look, I'm like, oh, no, not playing on Sunday. I'm like, okay, it's got to be Monday. It's got to be Monday. Nope. They don't play until fucking Tuesday, dude.
Well, you got to let Florida get rested up.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, really nice. Fucking bitches. Really good. Stupid. But yeah, so I saw that and that pissed me off. So I was like, dude, I'm gonna have a couple of beers, watch the Lightning hopefully beat the Panthers. Let's do it. Nope.
Nice weekend game. Nope.
Gotta wait until Tuesday, middle of the week. Middle of the work weekend. Next weekend, I'm sure they'll have one game. Yeah, probably Saturday. Probably do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay, so 3 Caps and 1 loyal Habs fan picking them to go through into the second round. Let's go back up to the at least the second round. Let's go back up to the Atlantic bracket. I have Toronto, Tampa, as does Eric.
Hold on.
I thought we did the Atlantic bracket, didn't we?
Or
we just revisiting? Oh yeah, we haven't done the Carolina New Jersey series yet.
And doesn't that just tell you
Yeah, how
How
nobody's
it's-
giving a shit about this one. Yeah.
How it's being perceived.
It-
I forgot
yeah.
it was even happening. And I watched part of it today, and I still forgot. No offense to anybody that is fans of those teams, but it's just, of all of the series that's going on, that is by far the least interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just tell you, I don't watch these teams very much. I don't really care all that much. It was exciting seeing, like, Carolina with Durant and stuff, and that was some nice drama in the regular season. I got the Devils, man. Go Palat.
Oh, okay.
Go Palat.
Yeah, I agree with you. I could give two shits about either of these teams. I think Carolina had a little bit of a skid there towards the end of the season. I know they probably sat some players. That
did,
obviously
yeah.
isn't going to help. But I agree with you. I'm going with the Devils.
Oh, boy.
Really? Okay. I
I'm
feel like
I'm
y'all are
sick
going
of
against
Carolina. I'm
the-
fucking sick of them.
We are
I mean, I
we are
kinda-
going
You deal
against
your best player, you get a player in return, and literally can't keep him because he doesn't want to be there. Like, fuck you.
doesn't
move
want to
on.
be there.
I mean,
Well, and honestly, he was kind of poopy for them anyway. So
They did all right with the return. Stankoven and Jankowski kind of killing it for them.
Are they?
Stankoven had a deuce today. He dropped a deuce.
They did cool down towards the end of the regular season, but what you just said, yeah, they've been doing pretty all right. I have Carolina in that one just because of where
That's the smart choice.
where New Jersey is at.
No Jack Hughes.
Like, yeah, injury wise, it's just I think Carolina's going to take it. They usually fall sometime, but it's generally not in the first round, and I think
Very
they're
true.
going to get out of the first.
And I believe
Did Eric agree?
no. Eric was
wow.
with us.
I was the
You were the
lone
sole
Carolina.
Staying
Carolina.
local. He's staying
Dude.
with a local team.
Come on, Devils, you can do it. Go Palat. Woo.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what he was
Justice Squad
thinking.
podcast,
I'm gonna put
big-
myself in
big
Eric's
Devils
body
belief.
right now, and Eric's thinking, I live on Long Island. I'm close
I'm
to
right
New Jersey.
there.
I want to see a local team win.
No,
Let's go New Jersey.
He just he loves Lou so much that he had to go for Lou's former team.
A former
you know?
Lou team.
The team Lou won 2 cups with. He had to, because he loves his GM so much and has to support him in all ways he can.
Yep. All right. There
You got
it
to
is.
clip that and put it as a reel.
Oh, dude, you're out of your mind if you don't
To
think I'm
Eric.
clipping all of that Nick sweep stuff.
Oh, that's fair. You got good-
100%.
lots of content tonight.
He's like, that's the night.
I'm just messing with you. I did.
I
don't
hope it's
know
a sweep
why
in
I
the
thought
other
that.
direction.
I don't know why I thought that when I was putting this in, but I obviously for them to sweep Montreal is obviously a huge, huge feat if they did it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, most likely not. But yeah, okay. So the Atlantic final. Eric and I, Toronto and Tampa, and we go different directions. I have we don't go different directions. We both have the Toronto Maple Leafs getting into the getting into the cup final. I feel like they get through. If they can get through Ottawa, they'll be feeling pretty good. Although many people probably thought that the year that
When
they
they
beat
got through
Tampa in the
Tampa.
first round.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of did nothing. But hey, this is how I feel. And Eric also feels the same way. we both have Toronto coming out of the Atlantic. What about you? What about you two gentlemen? You have
So we both have Ottawa.
You both have Ottawa
we have
Tampa.
the same matchup, yeah.
I have Tampa coming out because I don't have a lot of faith in Ottawa.
It's a lot to ask.
It's not that I don't have a lot of faith in Ottawa. It's just that I really like where Tampa's at.
Yeah.
Like I just think that in that matchup, I think Tampa would have it. That's nothing really against Ottawa. The amount of guys that have been there. It's like, yeah, a lot of the guys have been there, but been there and done nothing versus been there and done
that.
The
Done it
whole
all.
thing.
Done it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool thing is with Tampa at least they have obviously they lose Stammer, but they bring in Gensel. Also another guy who's been there and done it all and done it very well.
3 times? No, twice.
Just twice. But back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no big deal. Two cups back
Yeah.
to back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't a necessarily huge part of them, but
No, he was
Well,
Gensel.
incredible.
He was for
Gensel,
those
he
Penguins.
was Crosby's winger.
For those
he?
Penguins
Yeah.
runs,
Yeah.
yeah. That was his thing. He never did a whole lot during the regular season. Like he never had like he was never a 100-point guy. But
Yeah.
when you got into the playoffs, oh boy.
Yeah,
he put
fucking
goals in the net.
Do the damn thing.
He's probably he's probably the reason why Ottawa lost that game 7. Or a
Very
part of
well
it.
might
I
have
think
been.
I think it was something stupid like Chris Kunitz. I think it was like
It
late
was
career
Chris Kunitz. It was. I
think it
remember
was.
it. I remember it.
And I think it was like the end of Chris Kunitz too. Like
That was
I don't
it.
think
He was out of there.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the end because he went to the Lightning for like a year. and
did
it
he?
did like nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a gift to you.
We didn't do jack shite. So
because he was
thanks,
he
I
was
guess.
he was old as shit by then. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't his fault.
Yeah. All right. So you guys have Tampa, and Eric and I both have Toronto coming out of the Atlantic, going down to the
So
Metro.
we all have a blue and white winner.
That's right. Blue and white coming out of the Atlantic. Blue and white. I have the Capitals Devils. Eric also has the Capitals Devils. I believe Nick also has the Capitals Devils.
Yep.
I have Montreal, Carolina.
Yeah. Well, you go first then, since you have the odd one out.
So, the rematch of 2003, Saku Koivu getting his fucking eye taken out by Justin Williams and not getting shit happening with it. I don't hold grudges at all. No.
Mr. Game 7.
But
How old were you in that, Ben? Like
2003.
6?
2003, 6. Yeah, would have been 6.
Yeah.
No.
6.
No,
I wouldn't have been. I would have been 5.
Yeah. You would have been 5.
Yeah, a lot more of that has to do with me being a nerd shit up like crazy when I was like 8 to like 10, and
you were a nerd because you were a big baseball nerd back then too.
Yeah,
Yankees nerd.
that fell off a bit, but well, because it was Expos, and then I tried to become a Yankee fan for a second, and it just wasn't.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah. But anyhow, I'm gonna just be real quick about it because there's not really any logic I can apply to this one. I just have Montreal coming out of it because fuck it. I have Montreal beating Carolina in the second round, continuing their miraculous run into the conference finals.
Oh,
Habs
into the conference finals.
Habs in 4.
There you go. Boom. Sweep them. Start sweeping. All right. So coming to the other side and everybody else, I have the Capitals beating the Devils because I think the Devils can get through one round. I don't think they can get through 2 like that. Don't think so.
Same.
All right. Eric.
Where's Eric at?
Says same.
All right.
So yeah. So Eric in my Eastern Conference final. I'll go first. Capitals.
The Washington Capitals, who have not won a playoff series since 2018.
Mm-hmm. Capitals Leafs. Yep, that's right. The 2 teams who have won the least amount of series in the last decade, probably.
In fairness, the Caps did it after winning a cup. So
that's true. That's very true. That is, yeah. They definitely have a bit more of a pass.
That's a pretty big, factor there.
Yeah. Well, guess what? This is where the Leafs road ends, right here, with Alex Ovechkin and the Caps. And his 896 goals or whatever the hell he's got now. It's 95.
I mean, he got to 97 before the end of the year.
Woo! Yep.
Do playoff goals count for him?
No, it's all regular
those
season.
are separate records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have the Caps in the Stanley Cup final. So Eric additionally has the Caps in the Stanley Cup final. Oh.
Also additionally as well.
Yes. What about you there, Benny? So you've got Habs versus Lightning rematch of the 2021 Cup final. Ho-ho.
So, this is how masochistic I am. Even in my dream scenario, I have the Habs losing final to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
How did they get in the Cup finals against each other?
It was the half season where they did the Canadian division.
Yeah, it was where they had all the divisional realignments.
The Northern Division.
That's how the Habs are the only team in the league to have the trophy for both the Eastern Conference champions and the Western Conference champions, because they just kind of gave a trophy to each series, and the Habs won the Western Conference one.
Do the Detroit, wasn't Detroit in the West at one point?
Yeah, but then they've been ass since they moved.
They've been sucky.
Yeah, they made it to a first round a few times after they moved conference. Since then, they've literally been on their drought. So they would be the one other team that would be best positioned to become the second team to do that. But as of right now, the Habs stand alone.
They are alone.
But
all right, what do you got? Well, you got the Lightning.
I have Tampa winning. Yeah, I have good feelings about this team, and I want them to go on, but I do have to keep some amount of rationale and realism in my bracket to the Tampa Bay Conference Finals.
All right.
So I also have Tampa beating. I know they're playing the Capitals.
Beating the Capitals in your bracket.
Yep. So I've got Tampa.
Right. There you go. So two Tampas and 2 Caps in the East side, and then 3 Colorados and 1. What the hell did I say again?
Vegas.
1 Vegas. All right, Stanley Cup final. Benny, break it down.
So I have, what is it, 2022 rematch, Colorado Tampa?
Yes, you do.
I have the Colorado Tampa rematch, and that's going to be a hell of a series if it happens. I mean, almost certainly all of us are going to be wrong about all of these Stanley Cup final matchups, but
yes,
if history proves us right, that's guaranteed.
Yeah. But I think that would be a killer series. And as much as I do feel good about Tampa's end of the year and their trade deadline, I feel that much better about what Colorado has done with their roster. I have Colorado coming out on top and winning the 2025 Stanley Cup.
What's your goal breakdown?
Oh yeah, did you put a goal in? Did you put a goal in?
I didn't actually do the NHL bracket. I literally just.
Because the only reason I ask is because I have the exact same winner.
Oh,
and I wanted to bring this home with me last night, so
I wanted to see if and when we're both correct. I want to know.
So it's total goals in a series. The Cup final, it usually gets pretty low score. Although you never know, you could have a blowout or two, but like they're usually tighter games.
Usually.
I'm gonna think it probably goes about 6 games. Let's say I'm gonna say 24.
I have 31, so let's see.
Nick said 31. Funny story. I put in 24 for mine because I did the same exact thing. I was like, if it goes 6 games, let's say about 4 goals a game. 24. Yeah. I literally did the same thing.
Math. All right, hey, there we
go. Yeah. All right. So you had Colorado as well, Nick, and you had 30. You have 31 goals during the final. I have Caps, Golden Knights. Kind of an odd matchup, one we have not seen yet.
Since 2018.
That would be something different.
Since 2018. That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that odd. So it's a little rematch action.
It's the Cup rematch.
Yep.
Wow,
and I have it going the other way. I have Vegas getting their Cup revenge on Washington.
Was that Vegas's inaugural season?
It was.
It was indeed. That was a fun team to watch, and then they immediately spent the rest of their existence burning all goodwill.
Yes, and now they're like the Empire.
Yeah.
So I got the Vegas Golden Knights.
Real quick, because you said Empire, you know, that's like a thing that like Leafs fans and media regularly call. They call them like, oh, the evil empire, like of the. And every time I hear it, I laugh because what?
No, the Empire. The Empire was evil, and they killed people, and people hated them.
But
the Leafs are just annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you guys are just
But-
annoying.
And it's supposed to be like powerful, like you running shit for a minute, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
end up getting like beaten eventually. But like you're like I think it stems from the fact that like they are the brunt of everything media wise, and they have the money
They
and the
have the
power to do
most. Yeah,
things.
they have the most. Yeah.
Your ass.
You've not
Like-
really been. You've run the regular season pretty well, but like, yeah, dude, one series win in 9 years, guys. Come on. That's
Anyway.
not Empire type things.
I hear like Leafs media use that term all the times, and all the time I'm like,
Maybe
what?
they're not using it in Star Wars.
I don't know.
Reference. Maybe they're just using
Maybe.
it as a thing, but
Anyhow, but you have the Golden Knights.
Golden
winning the
Knights,
cup.
baby. Golden Knights. And then Rick has Colorado, Washington, a little different. And he also has Colorado winning. So you three all have Colorado winning the cup.
This podcast is Colorado.
Yeah,
mostly.
It's a Colorado standing podcast. But everybody's got a Western team. So that's interesting. All right, what time is it? All right.
Just shy of 9.
All right, we're
Got
gonna do
anything else we
we're
need
gonna do
to
a
touch
speed
on?
run. I have a playoff centric heat meter.
Ooh.
I have 4 things here on the heat meter. So we're gonna
Oh, boy.
speed run this. All right, first up, we'll get them out of the way because why not? Pepper level. You remember the Scoville scale, gentlemen, and if you don't,
I got to
It's
get back to the
it's
thread so I can see it.
somewhere in the Discord,
Yeah,
I
wait.
believe.
Gotta get that real quick. 1 second.
There it is.
I say it can't be that far. Yeah,
It's
there
somewhere
we go.
in the Discord. I wish I could open mine up. Let me just go into the Discord. Scroll up there. It is.
We got the Scoville scale happily provided by Mama Maggie's Kitchen. According
best.
to the watermark at the bottom of
You're the best, Mama Maggie.
the image.
Okay, so first up, gentlemen, we'll get them out of the way. Same thing every year. You know who I'm going with. The Toronto Maple Leafs. What's their heat meter at right now? What kind of pressure are they feeling?
What member of the organization do you want to go
I
with?
just
or
went
we
with
just-
full on, but if you want to throw out a name and a heat level to correspond with it, that's fine with me. I just went with the
Because,
team.
Well, I mean, the team general overall vibes got to be around. I don't know. Let's see what's near the top, but not quite the top. Let's say
Like a Trinidad
got the- we
Scorpion
got the-
batch.
something like that. Somewhere around there. But I
is
was
that?
thinking more so for Brendan Shanahan in specific,
Ooh.
because his contract's up at the end of this year. I'm fairly certain. And his tenure has not exactly been met with a ton of success on the ice, anyhow. That dude's sitting right at fucking pure capsaicin right there. That's the Ass Blaster 9000. If I've ever seen one.
9,000, gentlemen. We've gotten up
If
to the
I've
9,000 level.
Ever seen one? What did I say before? Did I not say
I
that?
thought it was like 5,000.
I think it might have been like 3,000 or something. But yeah,
It's-
we're gonna go
It's steadily
9,000.
gone up. It's slowly gone up.
That man, I don't know how there's any way like they go out in second round or earlier, that he's not gone. 'Cause
Yeah.
With where they're at this point, you can't even be happy with like, oh, we made it through a round. Yeah, come on, guys. Like, I don't think that. I mean, if you're run in any kind of competent way, I don't think you can.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I'm at with them.
All right. Yeah.
I'm at with the whole team.
Yeah.
Police pepper spray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
One from the
because-
top.
Dog, listen. They have had the same core guys for the last however many fucking years. And if they can't make this fucking team work the way it is, then they got to do something, right? Like, isn't the definition of insanity doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, thinking
mean,
that you're gonna have something different?
Exactly.
They're past insanity.
I
at this point.
understand like these guys are too good to trade away, but also like these guys can't win you through the playoffs for some reason or another. Maybe it'll be different this year.
It
I mean,
very
who
well
knows?
could
We
be.
could be
These
talking in a
every
month and
single
a
one of
half.
them their buttholes should be puckering. Like when you go to Chipotle and you get that hot salsa on your food and it's burning on the back way on the
Oh,
back end when it coming
that's
out.
not even that
Yeah.
hot, man. Not even that
Yes, it is.
hot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's I'm gonna go with something different because I think there's a bunch of new pieces in this lineup. I'm gonna say Ghost Pepper for the whole team. Pretty high still, but it's in the yellow on this on Mama Maggie's meter here. It's in the yellow. So I'm gonna say Ghost Pepper for the whole team because you got like Chris Tanev, like he's not got any of that kind of bad juju or anything. You got I actually don't know who else is really that
Chris-
new.
Well, their decor they got
decor is
completely
very good,
overhauled.
yeah.
I'll give them that. It's Chris Tanev, Ekman Larson, and then
Carlo.
Brendan Carlo from Boston, where they did a lot to help their defense. I will give them
Yeah, their
that.
defense
It's a
is a
lot
lot better.
better. Bringing in Stollers in net, and then getting a full season to really sort of settle into himself. Like they're not the team they were, all except in all of the major ways.
Yes.
Except yeah.
Except
Yeah.
in all your top players. They're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that there's a whole bunch of pressure, especially, I don't know, I feel like this especially, it's the Battle of Ontario. It's you won the division and you're playing a wild card team.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
Oh, if
still
they're
a
out
shitload
in
of pressure.
if they're out in one round, that's gonna
It's a
be
disaster. It's a huge
I
disaster.
think they're gonna be. I think that will finally be the impetus of a bit of a bloodbath in the summer, moves wise. Like,
Yep.
and
And
if not, I don't know. Anyway, we
I'll
wanted this to be
say
a speed round.
yeah, speed run. Moving on here. Moving on over to the west side of Canada, Western Canada. Connor Hellebuck. What's the pressure like for Connor Hellebuck right now? Obviously, they won game 1, but he was not particularly sharp in last
No.
year's round 1. So
He
what do we
hasn't been
think?
sharp in a lot of playoffs.
That's very true.
Which makes me say, I mean, he's a confident player. Like they're all professional players. Like, I think he's fine. But he's got to have some kind of feeling of like, no, at some point I got to prove myself because it's not gone great. It really hasn't over a lot of years. So I'm gonna put him. It's probably about 2/3 up the scale, or orange habanero.
Oh, the orange
somewhere around
habanero
there.
action. All right.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Like he's still obviously a fantastic goalie. Coming off of a shit hot year. Like
An incredible
you can't
season.
argue. You can't argue with the stats from this year. He's been great.
Possible heart-winning season.
But the pressure is obviously going to be there. I mean, it has to be with all like he has kind of been the question mark in all the different postseason fails. Like the 2021 Habs should not have been able to pick apart that man.
Yeah.
Like but I think he could shut a lot of people up this year. Like he's
very much.
The way he's been playing, I think he could. But we shall see.
All right.
What do you think, Nick?
This man has a warm booty. He just came off of an L in the Four Nations against a goalie who just got the Dubski. This guy can't win in the playoffs.
He seems to have a pressure issue.
Has a problem with the pressure in the playoffs. You're coming off a really good season. He's come off many really good regular seasons, but he is at a Naga Viper.
Oh, the Naga Viper. That is getting up into the dark or the orange section.
At the end of the day, he's not going anywhere.
No.
Unless he decides
he's
to go
their
somewhere.
team. He's
there,
team. Like,
but he's also got to be like, motherfucker,
unfair.
what?
They're really good.
Why can't I win?
Yeah, I would be somewhere in the middle of you two. What do we got? Orange Habanero, Naga Viper. I would say if I'm him, I'm like, there's no pressure here. Just do what you do. That's the way that if I'm him, I'm thinking about it. That being said, probably around orange habanero. I'll go one notch higher to the red Savina habanero. Oh,
Huh?
getting
Okay.
exotic with it. By the way, one time I grabbed some habaneros at the store to make a nice rice dish for myself. This was when we lived in Clinton, Benny, and I put like 3 of
I
them in
remember
there
this.
because I was like, it shouldn't be that bad.
I remember it
3
being
of them.
very bad for you.
It was
Do you
quite
have
hot.
immediate regret?
It was
I
quite
feel
spicy.
like one or maybe half of
One
might
would have
have.
been good for me. One would have
Yeah.
been all right. I think I like tripled it. So.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
That's a bold, like, just right off the rip. You're like, I'm just gonna try this rice. Yeah. 3 habaneros. Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know how spicy they are. I don't know.
I can handle jalapenos. What's a fucking habanero?
What's the difference, man? By the way,
A lot.
I'll let
A
you
lot.
know. Orange habanero tops out at 325,000 on the Scoville scale. The jalapeno, I can't see on here. Oh, here it is.
It says
Tops out
2,500 to
at
8,000.
8,000. Tops out at 8,000 compared to 325,000. Yeah. But anyway, last one, another Connor in Western Canada, Connor McDavid. What kind of pressure is this guy feeling? Made it to the Cup final last year, and
This
heartbreakingly
season?
lost.
This season, them
Yes.
not having the same type of expectation, like, yeah, they probably feel like they want to win, but like realistically, their team isn't positioned the same way
Very
as
true.
they were last year. I don't think he's feeling a ton of pressure. He's probably down in the old peppuccino down there.
Peppuccino. That is
Pepperoncini?
deep green. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's saying the pepperoncini or whatever.
Yeah.
But peppuccino's more fun. Peppuccino. Yeah.
I would agree. Like, I more so like every interview I've heard him in, every like of that behind the stuff we got from that documentary, like, he doesn't strike me as a guy who takes outside opinion on his game into a lot of account. I think he's pretty certain of who he is as a player, and like he's shown it and he's ready to go. I mean, like, outward pressure wise, yeah, there's a lot there. Edmonton's just as mad a hockey market as any market in Canada. Like, it's gonna be there, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be the guy that's gonna feel too much of it. I'm gonna give him at least like a jalapeno because it's a playoff series and it's Edmonton. Like, there's pressure.
I would like to add
I
one
think he's
thing.
all right.
I don't know if the pressure's necessarily on him. I feel like the Edmonton Oilers organization is probably like, we got to get this shit figured out next season. Otherwise, we're going to lose this
He's
fucking guy to
gone.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're probably up in like
Because
Carolina Reaper land. Like,
if-
fuck,
if-
we could lose a generational player here. Like we've had not necessarily lose, but we're gonna relive this. Oh, Gretzky played for Edmonton and is now going somewhere else. We're gonna have McJesus leave Edmonton and go play somewhere else.
Yeah, you relive it only
At
without
least,
the cups.
Yeah, I would say at least Gretzky gave Edmonton. It was either 3 or 4. I think it's 3. Yeah, because I think the last one was without him, and Mess was the captain, and they got it. Yeah, that for sure. It's definitely more. And I was gonna say the one there in Edmonton that's probably pretty spicy is Stuart Skinner. But
like, you guys think that if you think there's a real, like, what's the probability of him actually leaving there after this season or after his contract's up?
I don't know that there's much a point in having the conversation until this season or this series happens, and then we get to next year.
Yeah.
Although that would be a wild mid-season happening of if it gets to the point where McDavid says no, I'm not doing it, and then if he outright definitively says no, I am not gonna re-sign here, I'm sorry, there's no way you don't have a bidding war. Like, I know that it would be tempting to, as a GM, be like, well, what if we keep him for the playoff run? What if we keep him for that, and then maybe see if we can convince him to do it? No, because you cannot allow you cannot rely on the 3 to 5. If it gets to that point, if that's the mentality, you cannot rely on the 5% chance that he maybe decides, actually, no, I will stay here, because there's still the chance that you lose that motherfucker nothing. And if you lose Connor McDavid for nothing,
That
and I think you could have just the most ludicrous bidding war for that player. If you get if you get halfway through the season, he says no, and you can say you're offering the services of half a season and a playoff run of Connor McDavid. Oh,
yeah, you'd get a lot, and you'd get some
the
really
return
good
for
players
that.
back. You would get good players back as well.
That's the thing. If you don't, you're a
You're
terrible
gonna get good
GM.
players, and you're gonna get a
Bunch of picks.
few firsts.
Yep.
Yeah, like you.
Oh, yeah.
Now the only thing that
I don't
I
even-
see they have going for them is that Draisaitl's extended for a while, but that doesn't mean
True.
anything, right? Like if he's has the mindset of I want to win cups, I'm not doing it here. I've played with Leon for 7 years. We haven't gotten to here. We haven't gotten to that point. Sure, he's sticking around, but Edmonton can't prove to me that they're going to put a team elsewhere around us. I'm leaving.
Well, they've been dog shit at building a roster around
It's
him
been
his
terrible.
entire
Been
career.
absolutely terrible. They have him.
this
They
is
got
literally
Draisaitl,
the
and that's pretty much
closest-
it.
This is the best they've gotten at doing it recently, but even then, if you look at it, it's not good. They polish so much of what the rest of that roster is. It's because it's unfair. You have two of the easily top 5 forwards in the league on your team at all times, and that's gonna cover up a lot of shit. And there's been a lot of shit.
Yeah, they've certainly not. Yeah, the teams around them have been very. At the best, they've been very so-so. That's at the best.
They've been pretty mid around them.
Yeah.
But we shall see. That's a long ways out. But in terms of McDavid's pressure, But you're right, Nick. The management pressure in Edmonton,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
that's spicy.
That is a bit spicy. That's true. I forgot about that contract being up. Yep, that'll be a big deal if they get bounced in the first round here, which everyone except Nick thinks they will. So we'll have to wait and see.
Which, I mean, we could all look like fucking. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Nick would look great, but we could all look like fucking idiots.
What if Nick
in,
gets
a
100%?
couple weeks.
100%.
I mean, hey, you never know.
If
There's
Nick gets
just as good a
100%, Ben gets almost 100% too. Kind of.
no,
for-
he
Except
would
not
his
where
whole
except not where I
Metro-
care.
his whole except not where he cares. Yeah. Well, hey, let us know down below. What do you think? What do you think of our picks? How do yours differ? And you know what? Just for fun, Capitals sweep or Habs sweep? Throw it down there. Throw it down there. Nick versus Ben. Who you on with?
Sweep for me in the building. Let's go. Habs win.
Yep. There you go. All right. We will we'll see you guys whenever we see you. Maybe we wait and just do
Thank you for
after the round.
Thank you for the air horn olive branch there.
Maybe we just
Yeah.
wait until after the first round and just kind of sneak one in on that weekend.
It
or
might make
whatever.
sense, yeah, because I mean, I'm obviously not gonna be able to next Sunday or Friday, Saturday is always iffy. Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you guys after the first round. We'll know how our brackets are doing at that point fairly well. Mine might be 0%.
And mine might be perfect.
Might
we'll
be
find
literal 0%. That's how it's
Yeah.
shaping up right now. But yeah, so we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Or who knows if something goes crazy, if there's some huge story, Thursday night, Friday night, not great for me, but some night during the week, Mike,
Could do
if
a mini.
if you want to hop on and
Could
do
do a
like
mini.
a 20-minute something,
Yeah.
we might be able to do something. But
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. If we do a mini, I'm gonna have to jump in and cut you off a couple of times.
That's
to
true,
keep it
yeah.
concise.
Yeah,
But hey-
I do tend to go on, but
But
you
we'll
know.
find out. We all can go on every now and then. But hey, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Peace out.